All right. Hey, everybody. It's Heather Marie with Heather Marie Speaks on the mic with Mike here on WJFN 100.5, 92.7, and 8:20 a.m. I'm so excited to be back here after Thanksgiving holiday. How are
Welcome
you
back. Welcome back,
guys?
Heather.
Thank you. So I had a really fun holiday and just wanted to just be able to share a little bit because it was really awesome. I know that with the pandemic, it's hard for people that weren't able to go home, and I just was super blessed to be able to go home and see my family and spend some quality time. But you know what? It's been a long time since I've played any kind of board games and card games. And
Were your skills up to par?
well, I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to say that I had fun playing, and that was the point, right?
That is true. We've missed those things now, and the pandemic has sort of pushed everyone back to slow the clock down some.
Yeah, it definitely has. And it's allowed us all to really take a step back and really start to appreciate what we have, whether it's family, whether it's being able to play these fun Uno and card games and board games. But it was nice to be able to have some quality time. That's my love language. So I love quality time with family and friends.
Alrighty, Heather. Now, we've seen the videos that you posted. They look like a great time. Okay, what do you have for us today? Now, you always talk to the best in town. I saw you, and Al and I were talking. You do a lot of things. You're a spokeswoman. You're a mental health advocate, and then we see Heather singing. Heather, but then you reminded us where you come from.
Yeah, you guys forgot I come from two Broadway actors. So Mary and Jesus, Jesus Christ Superstar. I kid you not when I say that Jesus and Mary were my parents. They were. They were both Broadway actors on Jesus Christ Superstar back in the 70s. And so naturally, we have like musical talents, acting talents. And, I sing every once in a while. So my daughter was playing on the piano, one of my favorite songs, Beyonce's Halo. And I started
You
singing
busted
along.
out in song.
Yeah, just, that's what we do. We hang out on a Friday night and sing.
Okay, let me ask you before we get into your part, and then just
Yeah.
how did you get to infusing the beauty fashion with the whole mental health aspect?
So I realized that people were paying attention to my outside, my outside visual. People judge the book by its cover, and I get judged all the time by that. But I wanted to be able to flip the script and make it into something good. Been modeling since I was just a little girl, and if I can capture someone's attention by my appearance, by my looks, I want to twist it into a positive way, draw them in, and say, okay, now let me give you some substance because it's not just about the outside, shell. I have some real good substance experience and care for people to feel better in their mind, body, and soul. So I like to draw that in.
Plus, you got some big news this week. Some big news dropping about you. Big news drops all around too, all over the place.
Yeah.
You got naming names. You are a part of the whole new magazine that's dropped. You got an official title.
VHL,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So I'm taking your time. Go ahead.
That's okay. Hey, so first and foremost, I was super excited because I do love to do the community spotlights. It's not about me, it's about shining a light for other people that are doing things in the community. And I loved, loved, loved being able to interview Mario Mejia from Richmond, Virginia, who just finished an Ironman, which I don't know if you guys realize, Ironman is really, really tough. And his story was not a story of, hey, I've been doing this my whole life, this was easy. His story was, hey, I struggled with alcoholism. I struggled with being homeless for a period of time. He said he struggled with his self value and he had to kind of take a moment to really be self aware and figure out what he wanted to be. And that's the first step for mental health awareness is check yourself. Where are you? Are you happy with yourself? If you're not, figure out what you can do to change it. And if you can't change it on your own, get the help you need by talking to a therapist, talking to a counselor. I offer, mental health consultations for people as well. They can call me and speak to me in a private, confidential conversation so they can get it out. It's important to get it out. But he accomplished so much this year, and his story was inspiring. It was encouraging. I loved talking to him and meeting with him. And so that was my community spotlight. And it was all about being self aware. He wanted to redeem himself and be a better person for himself.
You're telling a good story. You're out there. You're doing the things, and you're getting the message out. Explain to our listeners the importance of how you take that, make it look good that you're telling a story from a branding and marketing standpoint.
Yeah, well, I tell people I'm not a doctor. I have had personal, real life experiences with mental health. We have family members that unfortunately have taken their life from being depressed and having mental health that was unattended. And so it's so dear to my heart for that reason, number one. And number two, I'm a survivor of domestic violence. So I've personally experienced depression, anxiety, PTSD, things that have wrecked my life. And I did not want to end up being a victim. I wanted to survive and help other people. And again, change something that was negative, turn it into something positive. This week, I was able to be honored to be a part of a committee with the Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce, and we're trying to help the military with mental health resources, because there's a lot of resources out there, but a lot of these counselors and hospitals are on like backlogs. They've got waiting lists, and it's hard to get in. It's hard to talk to somebody, and we're losing a lot of our military veterans because they're going in a downward spiral with no one to talk to, and they end up taking their lives. And the suicide rate right now is insane. And so to me, I want to be a voice. I want to be able to help those people, and was honored to be a part of that committee to talk about what can we do. And I'm just trying to get more awareness out there that, hey, I'm available. If someone else is not available for you, I offer consultations with mental health. As an expert mental health advocate, I know how it feels. I can be the person to just be a generous listener for you, and I can recommend where you can go after that.
And how can people find you for that?
So for that, it's info@heathermariespeaks.com. You can email me, and we'll set up a appointment. First consultation is completely complimentary. And after that, we go on a rate scale, and it's just to be able to help people, again, to have someone to talk to. Maybe they don't want to talk to a therapist. Maybe they're afraid to talk to, in military. Maybe they're afraid to talk to their commander because they're afraid they're not going to get promoted, or they're going to get fired, or their family's going to judge them, because unfortunately, there's still very much a stigma on mental health. But I want to make it more normal for people to get the help they need, just like they would if they had, a broken leg, if they had diabetes, they need to go get insulin. If they have anything else that's medically necessary, they go get the help. So I want to encourage people to get the help they need when it's mentally as well.
Times have changed, because I remember there was a time where you wouldn't say a person had cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've gotten past that point. Maybe we're turning the corner now with mental health, that we don't look at it with the same stigma that we did before. Because I know as a kid, you didn't say to the person that had cancer, they wanted to call it the big C. They wanted any of those things because it was something that you did. It wasn't something that was good.
Yeah.
It was something that was hard. Maybe right now, with the light that you're spreading and shedding on mental health, domestic violence, and those things, by talking about it, even though they are hard conversations, and how you intersect that together with the beauty and fashion things is outstanding. Okay, so now we've talked about that. Let's get on to the announcement this week of you with the Style magazine.
Yeah, so VA Style magazine has been, it's actually rebranding. So it was River City Magazine. It's been around for 20 years. One of my sweet friends, Ashley Jefferson, has purchased the magazine and rebranding it to VA Style, which is going to be launching their website in January 2021. And she was so sweet. I've met her a couple of times before we talked about the magazine. And, people have recognized, I guess, that I have a little bit of a fashion style. I've got my own kind of style.
Yeah, you're some style. Yeah.
But she was so sweet, and she was like, I'd love for you to be. She actually had asked me to be on the cover of the magazine, and it went from a conversation from there to, hey, I've actually written in magazines before. I'm an author. I've done some different things that have been published. So how can I help you with the magazine? And she's like, you know what? You need to be the fashion editor, and can I make you the director of the press spokeswoman so that you can be the face and voice of the magazine? And I'm like, of course, sure, I'd love to do that. So I'm part of the executive team that is putting this together and launching it here in January 2021.
Times 2:15. Heather Marie Speaks is here with us on the mic with Mike. This is one of the highlights of the week when she comes in, because when you see all the things that she's doing, and then it gets boiled down into this time, and it's just drilled down, and she's talking about all the things that are important, and they look good, but they also have the meaning and value behind it.
Yeah.
So how's the radio thing coming along?
The radio thing's coming along. We're doing some negotiations for 2021 so that I have a full hour, and it's the Heather Marie Speaks show. So stay tuned for when that's going to be announced. And in the meantime, I'm enjoying hanging with you.
Well, cool. it is good. The one good thing is the group of people that I have. Like I said, I got a rock star group of partners, and the lineup are women.
Well, women do have a tendency to be movers and shakers, but guys do too.
Guys do too.
I've got a posse of people that are men, and they're moving and shaking here in the city and beyond as well. So it's really just, we're each given a certain destiny and purpose in our life. And I don't want to make people feel bad that aren't doing as many things as I'm doing, because it's not about that. It's about you have a purpose, I have a purpose, but we can collaborate together. People don't need to compete with each other or look bad or look down on someone else. It's bring all of our gifts and talents together like we did. Collaborate, help make a bigger voice, help make a bigger difference together, and then we all end up shining and rising together.
What's the difference in business between down in Hampton Roads at 757 and Richmond when you go down there and see and operate?
I'm from Virginia Beach. I'm a Virginia Beach, born and raised. I spent my summers in England, so I love Virginia Beach because it has a lot of diversity as well. It's very military friendly because the bases are out there. But Richmond has the city vibe going on, which we don't have. I don't feel like we have it. I mean, I worked in Norfolk, Virginia for a little while too, and I just didn't feel like it was as city of a vibe that Richmond has. Richmond has a ton of breweries and restaurants, and a lot of people that are doing things in the public eye, which I like to spotlight out here as well, because those people are doing things using their gifts and talents to shine as well. And everybody deals with mental health, so there's always some sort of mental health story behind it. How they got over, some obstacles to start their business, for instance. But Virginia Beach has a lot of people out there too, and I'm excited to be able to start showcasing some of them. One of which, really interesting story. Again, how fashion kind of pulls people in. A drummer from a local band in Virginia Beach is had reached out to me after one of my photo shoots and asked if he could use one of my photos for his drum head. And I was like, what? He showed me the picture of what he wanted to do, and he actually used my picture on his drum head so that when people come to the concerts and they're like, who is that? He's able to say, this woman is very motivational and inspiring. Follow her. Is that not cool?
That is, I didn't know what a drumhead was until you just told me. I'm not cool like that. I'm not. Okay, but we got to talk about your photographer and your photograph.
Yes. So I've got two sponsors today for today's show: Rick Bancroft of Whispers of Light Studio and McKinley Walker Jr. Photography. Both of them are phenomenal photographers, and I love that I have so many photographer friends because nobody's pictures look the same. They all look different. They've got their own little spin to it, their own little eye that they've got with it. But these two gentlemen have been amazing parts of my journey with getting some of my marketing photos out there, and some of them have been a part. Like McKinley was part of RVA Fashion Week. He did some fire photos with them, and so they sponsored today's show, and I'm excited to be able to advertise them. And you guys got to follow them. You can see them. They've got some things on obviously my page, but go follow their pages: Whispers of Light Studio,
Whispers of Light Studio,
and McKinley Walker Jr.
I didn't even know where you were at when I saw the pictures. I didn't realize that was a studio.
Yeah. McKinley is amazing. He's got a great gift. And so is Rick. I mean, again, they have different eyes, different locations, but they're able to kind of just put their own touch on it and their own specialty. And it makes just a really cool photo.
How do you, when you're out operating, and I always say cool people know cool people, how do people come to your world to become valued assets?
Well, to me, every person is a valued asset. So if I meet someone, whether it's, a homeless guy on the street that came up to me and just asked me to follow his YouTube channel, which I was amazed by, I'm like, hey, you're doing something out there. I'm going to talk to him the same way I am some of my celebrity clients and CEOs that come and get consultations from me. Every human is precious and every human is a masterpiece. And to me, I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to look down on them. I'm not going to look up to them. I'm going to look at them like you are all each individually perfect in your own way. And if I can help make a difference in your life or you can help make a difference in mine, it's important for me to just love you the way that we're supposed to love each other.
There you go.
Yeah.
220 Heather Marie Speaks. She is here with us every Thursday, 2 to 2:30. With that being said, we got to go away and we got to take them on, but make sure you hit the sponsors again, and they are
Rick Bancroft with Whispers of Light Studios and McKinley Walker Jr. Photography.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know and you haven't seen her photos, you need to contact these people.
Yeah.
Because, I'm not sure who you're using now, but after you see those, you need to get with those gentlemen.
Absolutely. They can do, headshots. They can do model shots. They can also do family photography as well. So reach out to them.
All righty. 221. We'll be back in a moment.
Awesome. Hey, everybody, it's Heather Marie with Heather Marie Speaks on the mic with Mike, WJFM. Thank you for joining us back again. So we were talking about all kinds of different stuff that I've been doing in Hampton Roads and in Richmond. But I also wanted to make sure that I give everybody a little nugget of mental health awareness to help them get through their week until next week, until I'm back on the air again.
Because going through the holidays, and you can touch on some of that, holidays are brutal for people going.
They can be. It's all perspective, though. I love to be able to help people put it into perspective so that they don't have to have a holiday ruined or a conversation ruined. Let's be real. Right now, there is a huge blanket of offense over the world, and it's so easy for someone to be offended by something that really wasn't intended to hurt anybody's feelings or It's just people are really sensitive right now, and there's a lot of stress and anxiety going on with the world being uncertain. So instead of being offended, because offenses will come, instead of being offended, when we wake up in the morning and we make the choice, because we are the only person in charge of our happiness. We can't put our happiness in someone else's control because you're giving away your peace, you're giving away your joy. And when we take control of that, we take captive of our thoughts in the morning, first thing to say, I am going to choose to be happy no matter what happens. And I'm going to choose not to be offended, not to live bitter, not to be angry or sad. And sometimes it's hard. I get with mental health, there's a lot of different layers that people can have. And sometimes those layers do include the necessity of taking medicine to help you be balanced. And that's okay. There's no shame in that either. But for people that are dealing with just a lower level of mental illness, which is depression, anxiety, anger, stress, those smaller level things, which sometimes can build into bigger ones. But if you've got the ability to control that thought process and say, I choose to be happy, then when something happens, it's not going to throw you off, and you're not going to be offended easily. You're going to choose to say, you know what, I don't have to respond to that. If someone's offended by something I said, that's their ability to be able to choose how they behave, but I'm going to choose not to let it steal my peace. So that's my nugget of encouragement for people today for mental health awareness, is to just make the decision first thing in the morning that you're going to have a good day no matter what happens.